Alright, everyone, welcome back to another Wash and Talk here in Automotive Anatomy. Thank you for joining us. It's funny how I get such mix. I think these are the videos that I get the most mixed comments, either like super in depth, thought, um, detailed comments, or just little comments like, "Oh, you're whining again," or "You cry a lot," or "You contradict yourself." Just like little tiny one sentence, um, and also positive ones, not just negative ones, but just the ones that kind of caught my attention. As you guys can tell, I'm watching my wife's car. The sun, it's kind of going down a little bit better. So, and then you're gonna be able to see that I actually. The hood was really bad. It's just, I don't know, so many birds or something. And I ended up washing the hood a little bit more in that, and then I went back and washed the whole car. But yeah, just got back from couple trips, and man, I'm tired. It's crazy. It's crazy to they sure say that the people that need the most vacations are the ones that just came back from vacation. And yeah, I guess I'll admit to that. I'll attest to that. And so I should be getting back to work in, at the top of this recording, maybe in about 2-3 weeks, and I'm back to work. Another. Some of you guys know I work in education, so it'll be a school year, and sprinkle in a couple vacations here and there, and should be fun. I need to be able to start now getting back into my schedule. My schedule has been super off. Waking up later than I would really want to, sleeping later than I would want to. My eating has been tremendously bad. And so that's definitely something that I'm going to try to start now catching myself a little bit better. Also start pushing myself to get some of these shirts. I also have license plate frames that I want to do. Yeah, I just gotta find somewhere I can order them, and hopefully we can get those on the store, and then just gonna start moving towards that. Just start, doing a small moves, nothing crazy, nothing too big, just to kind of keep pushing myself and the channel, and then hopefully you guys continue to enjoy what we've been pulling out. I think we're getting so many good feedback, not just from the interview videos, but from these wash and talks. I really think that it's a big staple of the channel now. I think you guys are really enjoying them. I really do thank you guys for being patient, and I'm not cleaning a super modified car. In this case, I'm not cleaning a modified car at all. So I really do thank you guys for kind of just staying and tuning in either way, just to show some appreciation. And speaking of that, I think the topic that I wanted to discuss today is called just the sacrifices that we do for the stuff that we have to be able to get for ourselves and for our families. You don't realize the sacrifice that other people do for you, especially family members, until now you're at that age where now you realize, like, oh, like, this is what it was. I've been fortunate enough to be able to get an education in this amazing country, due to some sacrifices that my mom did at a younger age, and to see how money's made and how you have to spend money to survive, and how long money lasts, how you have to be creative and stretch it. It definitely gives me a different perspective on how I can easily spend $300 on a car part, but that would have been I don't know, 40% of rent, back in the 90s or whenever. I also didn't cut the camera on purpose, so you guys can see that I was like, damn, the hood is really bad. Let me clean it before I go any further. And then, well, the windshield as well was really, really bad. And so, yeah, I mean, I was hanging out with a close family member of ours, and he went and got a couple Happy Meals for his son and daughter, and I always joke that I've never gotten a Happy Meal. I just never did. I came to this country when I was 9, and those things were expensive. So my mom was not gonna. We just would, nowadays, fast food for me is no big deal, but back then it was a big deal. It was like we're celebrating something. We wouldn't just go to fast food, just because. I mean, I don't want a Happy Meal now. I'm not saying somebody go and buy me a Happy Meal. That's not what I'm saying. But it's odd that to some people, like, that means, the first one's always the most special, I would think, and then afterwards it just becomes like, oh, okay, well, this, which I guess is a good thing. I mean, that's the reason why we work hard, to give the next generation a better life. But it also has to be a nice little balance, so that way they don't take that for granted. And now it's like the expectation is so high that anything that you do below that, has a negative, outcome. And so we see this with people that go out of their way to buy, I don't know, let's say they're the teenage kid, my neighbor there, stopping by, nice guy, he's always fixing his cars. So we're always trying to help each other out. Like the typical example where the teenage kid gets a very expensive new car, and it's like, I personally, on a personal level, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a teenage kid. It's easy for me to say right now that I wouldn't. But I think, I like to believe. I don't know about you guys. You guys can definitely chime in, but I like to believe that I would want them to get the experience. And this is for boy and girl. I'll be honest. If it's a girl, I'm probably gonna buy a newer car, more reliable. If it's a boy, man, screw him. Like, he needs to figure it out. But no, I mean, I think that there's some sense of pride. Now some kids think it's cool to drive a retro, old car. Obviously, it has to be a specific car, not just a car. But I think it's cool for them to learn, like, hey, yeah, you're not gonna be driving the most, new car when you're in high school, because then after that, like, where do you go from there? And if you, the listener, there is somebody out there who bought a brand new car to their teenage kid, I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that it may not be the most appropriate thing for me. And I think part of it is, like I mentioned, that ownership of learning how to take care of something. Number two, if you get a car from the dealership, again, another personal belief, how are we paying for it? How's the kid gonna earn that? Is it through grades? And if it is through grades, how is he or she gonna maintain it, so that way it stays in their possession, and so they don't take it for granted. One of the people that I used to work for a long time ago at the fast food, their daughter was upset because she didn't want a free PT Cruiser. Now, I don't blame her. It's a PT Cruiser. Who the hell wants a PT Cruiser? Just kidding. If you drive a PT Cruiser, calm down. She didn't want it. It was free. It was going to be low mileage because it was grandma's, and grandma wouldn't move it anymore because grandma bought a new car, a super low mile. She didn't want it. She was like, no, it's an ugly car. I think she was like 15, 16 at the time. And obviously I was like 18 and, taking like 100 pictures of my shit box outside, because I bought it for myself, my 94 Accord and 95 Accord. And I'm just, I don't know. It made me think, like, well, if she doesn't want a free car, then her expectations are extremely high. Her mom didn't want to buy her a car. She's like, why should we get a car payment? Long story short, she ended up getting a car, a Volvo, which, I don't know. I guess it's better than a PT Cruiser. Then she talked her mom into getting her MDX, an Acura. It was too much gas. Obviously, she wasn't paying for gas. Obviously, she wasn't paying for insurance. This is the mom that, it's making all these payments. So, but that's a whole different parenting thing. But, and then she ended up getting some new car from the dealer. I can't remember what it was. Bottom line is, like, we all have different steps. I know for a fact if somebody would have said, "Hey, here's a free car," when I was in high school, shoot, I wouldn't even ask like, what kind of car it is. I mean, does it drive and I can, move it and it moves under its own power? Then I would have been like, yes, yes, 1,000 times. But different, different strokes, I guess. And so it just kind of makes me think like, um, in the process of making it easier or better for the next generation, the underlying, um, I guess, harm that we might be making on people, and I'm definitely a big part of that. I mean, I'm, I've seen how easy it has been for me, that sometimes it's so easy for me to say, well, they just are not working hard enough. Whoever they is, um, maybe somebody my own age where they weren't able to go to school, they had to drop off, they had to do something, or they're just in different stages in life with different stuff, and I think, you know I've had quote unquote hardships by what I can't even tell what my hardships are. My hardships were that I lacked guidance, I guess, in school, but I still did okay in school. I needed to take the bus to college, but dude, I got to get, I was able to go to college. Like, some people are not even able to go to college. My sacrifice was what, that I had to wake up 2.5 hours earlier than, other people to take the bus, or buses in this case. But at the same time, like, we have public transportation. I mean, like, I can create this sense of, you know, hardships and how bad I had it, but in reality, you know, it's not as bad as other people have it, and that is because of the sacrifice that I'm never gonna know that either my mom did, or her parents made, and her parents, and so forth and so on. And the process, I guess, making people snobby like myself, thinking that well, they just are not working hard, and they're I can't accept their reason or their excuse as to why they're not in the place where they need to be. And I think I lack a little bit of reality. When they say you need a reality check, I think I do lack a little bit of reality, just because things have been you know aligning very properly. Yes, I've tried to take as much as advantage of the opportunities that I've been giving, but again, sometimes we are so naive of the great place that we're in life, that we just assume that oh, I worked for all these opportunities. No, man, like, there was definitely other people that worked, and that put themselves through some real sacrifice for me to be able to be in this position, for me to be able to be washing my car and talking to a microphone. Like, that's pretty wild if you think about, considering that just last generation in my family, they're dealing with real poverty, and not having shoes or things of that nature. And so it just goes back to, we lose a lot of or generation, we stop sharing stories. And so I think that's where we start losing the sense of the sacrifice that other people have, and how that has shaped us into being the where we're at. I often say, we are definitely, the future is shaped by what we do in the present, and so we don't see it, until it's there. So, like, I gained quite a bit of weight, not because I had that extra bag of Cheetos yesterday. It's because 6 months ago or a year ago, I told myself, just one more cookie. Oh, just, one more shake. Oh, I don't feel like running today. And now today, that's the, now I have a physical, thing to look at of my decision making from, 6 months ago. But that's the same thing when it comes to everything else. When it comes to life, when it comes to cars, if you want to do something, like, it's not gonna be at that moment where you think about it that it's gonna happen. I always often say I want my '63 Impala or the Porsche, and the thing is, it's not gonna happen. Today when I'm thinking about it, this has to happen, 3 years ago of saving. You know what I mean? And so the day that I do end up purchasing one or the other, then someone can be like, oh, you've been working at it for the past 5 years. Yes, that's correct, and quote unquote sacrificing some things. And again, I use that word. I don't even. I don't think I even. I don't think I am the right person to use that word because it doesn't really apply to me. I haven't really sacrificed anything. There's really, you know, no real hardship in my life. I think we've had, I've had a pretty good life, and it's been pretty easy, and that's the reason why I lose a sense of reality at times. And I think that, I'm the only one that has worked hard in this life, and that other people's reasons or excuses, whatever you want to call them, they're validated, but it's not enough for me. And so again, it goes back, I'm having these conversations for myself, and to kind of remind myself to, one, remain humble. Two, keep working, regardless of where you are in life, because staying stagnant, that's the problem. And three is that, we are trying to make it better for, I hope my kids, their use of the word sacrifice is going to be a little bit different. I don't know what that's going to look like, but obviously it has definitely been a different, it's been different for me than it was for my mom. For my mom, it was sacrifice was like she just wouldn't go out and eat, because going out and eat outside, she would just cook every single meal, trying to save every dime, pay rent. And for me, sacrifice means I'm only gonna have expensive coffee twice a week as opposed to 7 times. It's just, so definitely the word's the same, but how we apply it, depending on your circumstances, changes. And so, for me, not getting a Happy Meal at one point, maybe it was kind of like hurtful in a sense, to not open up that little box and see a toy there. But now as an adult, I think about it, I'm like, well, if you get a Happy Meal every single, I don't know, every other day, then it's no longer a Happy Meal. It's just a expectation meal, and that's where I don't want. I need to be able to have a good balance, with myself, with my future generations, to assure that not everything that I spend my money on is cars. Not everything I spend my money is on saving. So it's like having a nice little balance, because I like where I'm at in life. Like I said, there's no really sacrifice. There's no hardships for me. Life is good. Life is amazing, I should say, and you guys know that. And so whenever I have these discussions, I don't want it to be always negative or just judgmental, I guess. I think I also want them to be, a nice reminder to myself, and somewhat reflective, topic to remind you and myself that we have made some good moves or sacrifices, whatever you want to call them. And obviously, your story. This is not a competition, because there's always going to be someone out there who's had it harder and has overcome, or has had it harder and they just couldn't, and their background has a lot to do with it. But ultimately, I think the message that I want to say is, just be kind to people, because you don't know what they're going through. On the outside, they might look like materialistic, they have everything, but there's always something inside. There's always something that may be bothering them, or the opposite. They don't look like they're materialistic, they have everything, but they're still going through something. Like, it's not always the opposite, full-on opposite, where like, oh, they don't have money but they're very happy. No, they could be very happy with money, or very unhappy without money, or family issues. But I don't know, I kind of thought about it, expectations, sacrifice, and so the way we're shaping the future for future generations really says what we do now and how we prepare for the future. And I don't know, what do you guys think? How has it been for you guys? I would love to hear your kind of your feedback on that. For now, This was another great topic here in Washington Talk, and I really appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you very much. Take care. Peace.